What's up, YouTube? Hope everybody's doing well today. Wanted to bring some awareness to Sebastian Rogers. His birthday is here in a few days. He'll be 17. 15 years old when he went missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was at home with his mom. His dad was at work, and his stepdad was at work in Memphis. And his biological dad was a ex-sheriff department jailer for the sheriff's department. Worked at the jail there. Um, Sebastian was autistic, went missing February 25th or the 26th of 2024. Coming up on 2 years here in a couple months, him being gone. He vanished in the middle of the night. His mom called out to him about 10:30 p.m. and he answered her. And she went to bed about midnight and got up the next morning around 6:30 to wake Sebastian up to go to school, and he was gone. But one of the biggest searches in the history of the country for a missing kid. Every kind of resource you can possibly imagine, and there was no trace of Sebastian. There's a questionable footprint up by a retention pond that a tracking dog had followed, and the sheriff's deputy said he saw a footprint there, and it went into the pond, and the dog jumped into the pond, but they drained the pond. They drained it 2 times, and there was nothing there. But anyway, I know Chris, Katie, and Seth are going through a hard time this time of the year with it being his birthday and Christmas, and just want to bring some awareness to it. And the best way to do that is to put out some of this. This is the first interview they had on camera. It's with Chronicles of Olivia. Credit to Chronicles of Olivia. They had one interview before this. It was with Duchess, but there's no video or anything like that of it. So we're just going to go over this video a little bit.
The mother and stepfather was Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old who vanished from Hendersonville, Tennessee on February 26th of 2024. He vanished and hasn't been seen since.
Although he doesn't like to be dirty, it's kind of funny because he also doesn't have awareness, because if you look, he's got chocolate milk on his face because he didn't wipe it off at breakfast. It's funny like that.
Can you recap the overall story of Sebastian's disappearance? Kind of walk through that day.
Sunday, the day before he went missing, we got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. We had a good time. We were laughing, we were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We went and picked up our niece.
Yeah.
I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, you know, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley, and then from there we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock. Told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock I went to wake him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he wasn't here.
Okay, so where did you get the feeling from her This is her first interview about her son out to the public. I think there's a couple of news interviews, but I'm pretty sure Chronicles of Olivia was the second interview they did. But a lot of people think he was overstimulated from the day before and just too hyper. But I mean, if you go back and there's some security camera footage of him eating dinner that night at the Texas Roadhouse, he doesn't seem to be overstimulated whatsoever. It's just such a mystery where this child is. And it needs to be found and brought home, though.
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid? Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he? I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But, after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying and I was screaming, and he was like three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on, and he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I drove back to the house, and 20 days later we haven't found him.
There was a lot of emphasis put on the fact that they didn't call 911, that Chris called the sheriff's department, that she had called Chris before she called the sheriff's department and reported him missing. A lot of people think when she left the house to drive around and look for Sebastian, that was her opportunity to get Sebastian out of there, because they park inside the carport. She could have put him in the car and drove him out of the neighborhood that morning if she had done something to him. But she's on security cam footage where she speaks with 2 or 3 neighbors in the neighborhood before she ever gets outside of their neighborhood. It's kind of like a gated community, but it doesn't have a gate up. It's just really close-knit, nice to do houses here. And they all had security camera footage. If you go back and watch the video I just did a couple of days ago, you can hear the dispatch for the police department. There were so many police in so fast. They had this whole neighborhood covered. There's probably a couple hundred houses here they had covered in just a couple hours. Now, I'm not saying they searched every house or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure they knocked on every door. But because when she done this interview, the information had not been out about her being on security cam footage, talking to the neighbors and stuff and looking for Sebastian. And that's why people had suspected she had put him in a car then and hauled him off. Some people's even suspected that she done something to him, put him in a garbage can, let the garbage guys take him off that morning. But no, that's not true either. They went and searched the landfill. She stopped and spoke with a couple neighbors on the way out of the neighborhood and everything. Either Sebastian left on his own or somebody lured him out of the house and was able to weave through this neighborhood in the middle of the night, which there is a video out. It looks like a couple flashlights going through the neighborhood, and the only thing missing was a flashlight. He was barefoot. His phone was laying there. He could have gotten his phone on the way out and everything else, and none of that occurred, which makes it really strange. It's just like he evaporated out of his bedroom, and that was it, except for the one footprint and everything up by that retaining pond. I'm not saying that was his, but it just the way it sounds in the dispatch, it sounds like it could have been his.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also, like when we were driving up here, like this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever like walked away before, or like has that ever happened? It's just no, first time.
He's not a child that wanders. He's not one that is
he doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with elopement with their children, but no, Sebastian, that's one thing, has always been a blessing. He's not been an eloper or a runner. His primary areas are like social and emotional dysregulation issues and things like that. But he's very smart. He's functional. Overall, he's a pretty happy kid. I mean, he's a teenager. He's coming into his hormones. He's angry that he's growing a mustache, but for the most part, he's a happy kid. And
your shoes don't let you finish your walk, it's time to change them up. Ortho Feet shoes have been a total...
What are your theories? Like, I'm sure your mind has thought of every possible thing that could have happened, but is there any theory that you can talk about that you think?
What I can tell you is, with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we started searching to the worst.
Yeah. And that's currently where we're at. I mean, it's...
Yeah. Really try not to go down that road because we're gonna find him.
Speculating causes problems. Assumptions cause issues. And based on facts of what everybody knows, right now, there's nothing, and everything is still...
And the speculation in this case, speculating isn't even the word for it. Every time you think you've seen it all or heard it all with this case right here, something new comes up, and it can only get more absurd because there's been some absolutely ludicrous ideas put out. People thinking that something happened with Sebastian because he got Katie pregnant, which is the craziest bunch of shit I've ever heard in my life, and it was put out by people that are really good friends with these people, and that is so freaking nuts to me. Why that thought would even enter your head? You got to be sick, twisted, demented to even think that way. And they say they were going... No, all he had to do was ask. He could have asked either one of these people and got the answer to that question instead of floating it around on the fucking internet like he did. Way to go, Elevated. Way to go.
On the table to being looked at.
We just know he's out there somewhere.
One other question I have is, recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video, or?
Sure. So there's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay, and that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now, what I can give you an official statement on is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement, state law enforcement, some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from, but I can tell you, as the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from, and nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
Okay.
And anything about any other.
And if you haven't seen the flashlight video, it's had a bunch of shit come along with it too. People think there are people fighting and carrying Sebastian to a car and everything else, when the reality of the fact is none of us have seen the video. The only video that's out looks like two flashlights, but it's also a cropped in section of a screen. It's just the top right hand part of the screen that was filmed with somebody watching the video with a cell phone filming the other screen. So there's a reflection on the screen. It just really can't put any credit to the video. I mean, it does look kind of like flashlights, but you're only looking at like just a really. They say it's garbage trucks. It's hard for me to believe it's garbage trucks too, but it could be garbage. I don't know. I haven't seen the video. Even Seth Rogers said he's seen the video and it's a garbage truck. So, and law enforcement says there's no evidentiary value to it.
Videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI news link that they have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff, and it will give you the most up-to-date information that all law enforcement has, and they will give you current as far as what's what and how they're looking at things.
And if there's any new video, forward it to them.
Please.
Yeah. Security footage is really like a game changer. We're working on Riley's strain and trying to find like if someone missed one on a corner or something. That's
around this neighborhood, and this whole community. I mean, I can tell you that much here. When it comes to the cameras, there has not been one person that has said no. And trust me, it is greatly felt that everybody has been so open, so helpful in pushing out any which way they can. I mean, there's been some families that have actually been on vacation that weren't home, and they got permission from that family to take a look at their cameras and go in their houses without them even being present, which has been amazing. So, but yeah.
That's good. If there was something that you could say to Sebastian if he was listening, what would you say?
Oh God. That if you can see this or hear this, that we just want you home, baby, and we love you. And there ain't nothing gonna stop us from coming and getting you and bringing you home.
I can't speak for his father, but I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion, that we love you, miss you, we want you home, and if you can, call us, get wherever you can, let us know, and we will come get you.
Call 911, run out into the street, go in public, anything. The signs that we've been blessed to have family, friends, and even some in the community that have been helping us, but we've been out spreading those as far as we can, even over state lines, trying to get awareness, because not everybody knows that he's missing, and there's a chance that if someone could see him and not even realize who he is. So we want to get his face out there because we want him home.
Surprisingly, even locally, there are some folks that don't even know what's going on, and it's kind of like a shocker. Like, how do you not know? It is amazing, because in the past couple of weeks you've got 2 cases. A 15-year-old boy that has vanished without a trace. You've got a 22-year-old 6'4" or 7" college kid from Missouri who has vanished without a trace. That's a huge significance here, that it's like, wow, how? So
It's scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the college kid is from Missouri, I think.
Yeah, Missouri.
I can only imagine what his family is going through.
It's like your worst nightmare come alive.
How's it going? I'm the founder and CEO of Mudwater, and if you've ever wondered what the difference is between Mudwater and all those...
Do you guys receive hate on the internet?
Yes, and it's ongoing. It's every single day. people are people, and they have their opinions. Everybody is formulating their idea of what's going on and who's guilty and who's not guilty because they want to know, or they feel they need to know. There's a difference. Unfortunately, what I will tell you is that when you're the family in this position and you're working with law enforcement and everything's going the way it goes, people automatically assume this parent or that parent. And in this situation,
And I mean, like I said, the speculation for Chris and Katie was really bad for a while, but we've since learned that she had a system in her car that had video recordings of her and audio recordings of her and Sebastian coming home from dinner and stuff, and they're able to trace both of their steps, step for step, the whole time. The only time that she wasn't with Sebastian was when he was in his bedroom that night. That's the only time there's no video or audio of them being together, and everything seems to be fine otherwise. It's just really odd that, I mean, you're talking about in the middle of February, it's cool out. He didn't take a jacket, he didn't take his shoes, he went out barefoot. He didn't take his cell phone, which was laying there for him. I mean, he had a tablet he could have took, didn't take. He didn't take his Nintendo Switch. He just took a keychain flashlight, and that was it. That's the only thing gone. It's really odd to me. It's almost like somebody come woke him up and he knew who that person was. He didn't bother taking anything with him because he thought he'd be right back. That's just really the feeling. I mean, but he's an autistic child as well, and I mean, there are several documented cases of them just waking up in the middle of the night and leaving the house, and a lot of times barefoot, and a lot of the times they head straight to water. It's just hard to say. I'd love to know what triggers that in them. I'd love for the scientific community to be able to figure that out and maybe be able to correct that with autistic children, because just over the research I've done, I've seen it's a really big thing that happens with autistic children at some point in their life. Like they said, Sebastian was not known to wander or run away, and just all of a sudden, I mean, this kid had a good life. There's video of him. It's not like he just lived a sheltered life. There's some CPS reports out. I'd love to know what those said too, but Seth Rogers won't release them to us.
I can promise you, every single parent has been vetted. I can't go into details, but I can tell you we have been vetted and we have been cleared of all possibility of wrongdoing, foul play. There's nothing to that. We've heard all kinds of stories.
I pretty much don't even go online anymore at this point.
I, on the other hand, I do go on. And I do talk to these folks. And I want them to understand.
Okay, guys, we're gonna let it wrap up right there. There's more of this meandering around, and you get a really good sense of how their demeanor was and everything. This was a couple weeks after this has happened and all. This may have been the second televised interview. I think it was the first, though, before their news interviews. But just it's here at Christmas. Sebastian's birthday is coming up. Everybody say a prayer for Sebastian. Say a prayer for all three of the parents. If you have children, hold on to them. You know what I mean? They grow up quick. And after they grow up, that's about it. You don't hardly see them anymore, but anyway, just keep these people in your prayers. Keep these other missing children in your prayers. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you on the next one.
We have this formula